All righty. You see the logo, baby. You know what that means. SeatGeek. Today's show is sponsored by SeatGeek. We talking about the #1 rated ticketing app. I mean, let's talk about why. Over 28 million downloads. They offer over 70,000 plus events. And if I remember correctly, the NFL season is all the way back, baby. So when you're talking about the season being back, you make sure that, you don't miss out on some of these games that are happening. I know it's a lot of the black and gold fans out there. As I'm scrolling on my phone right now, I'm just trying to see, which seats I want for that game that's going to be taking place this weekend, all right? Because they got how they rating them: good, amazing, great. I mean, dude, it tells you right there. All right? But, of course, I'm not going to just come up here and bother you with what I get out of this, because I want to show you what you get out of this. For the first time, people out there, when you make your first purchase, right, your first set of tickets that you're going to order on SeatGeek, you use the promo code Moats, you're getting $20 off. All right, you see it right there. Promo code Moats, $20 off. It's a great little situation. So do yourself a favor and don't miss out on that next event that you really want to be at. But shout out to SeatGeek. But let's tap in, man. Got an update on said injury reports because, like I said, man, we got a game this week. All right, we got to know who's in and who is not in. All right, so let me pull up official. Let's see if they've updated them just yet for today. If not, though, what we do already know in terms of injury report, a couple of guys already ruled out. All right. So for black and gold, Derek Harmon, Coach Tomlin ruled him out already, man. We won't see him this week. We obviously know he's working his way back from the knee injury, the sprained knee that he sustained in that final preseason game versus the Carolina Panthers. So we understand that part of it. From the Jet side, they have already ruled out Elijah Vera Tucker. He tore his triceps, so he will actually be out for the season. So that's a big blow for them, and that was a guy that they were anticipating being their starting right guard. We'll talk about the impact of that later on when Tanisha gets on for the game preview, all right? But like I said, man, Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be ruled out also, all right? In terms of any other of note injury designations, Coach Tomlin did bring up Nick Herbig, just in terms of, we know he's working his way back from a hamstring injury. He was listed as limited in yesterday's practice and limited in today's practice. Cam Hayward, he got the vet resting day. That was that. And then he didn't practice today. We anticipate him obviously practicing tomorrow, or we'll at least see what that looks like for tomorrow. On the Jet side, though, they haven't put their injury designations in for today's practice just yet. But what we do know is on Wednesday, we already told you about Elijah Vera Tucker. He's ruled out. Sauce Gardner, he's been up here a little bit, man. He has a fibula he's been working with. He was limited on Wednesday. We'll see what that is today, but they fully anticipate him playing. I don't see any, then keeping him off that field. And then a oldie name, but a goodie name, man. Shout out to Chooks, Big Chooks Okorafor, man. He's over there as well, man. He had a DNP with a hand he's been dealing with, but he's not supposed to be the starter or going to be seen out there barring injury, because obviously they got some new people on that O-line that we will talk about. Like I said, man, when I get with Tanisha at 5:30. All right. But to me, though, man, when I'm seeing, in terms of the availability, I like that. We obviously know that Coach Tomlin talked about some of the guys going to be rotating a lot more due to the injury, but he also brought up that, early in the season, you rotate D linemen anyways, man, just because you want to keep those guys healthy. And from a conditioning standpoint, it's hot, they're big. It's the first time you playing that many plays. The engines internally are revved up to a level that haven't been revved up in a while, regardless of if you play in the preseason or not. Nothing feels like the regular season. And regardless of how many preseason games you played in, nothing feels like week one. So that's the other part, man, when you're talking about, some of those bigger body guys and why you're going to see a lot more usage from our depth. That's the big reason behind it. So we know, man, guys like Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward, we expect them. But Isaiah Loudermilk, shout out to the Milkman. Always good to see him, man. He's going to get an opportunity to play a lot more. Daniel Equale, he's going to be playing a lot more. Logan Lee going to get some opportunity. YA Black, obviously, Azezi Otamiwo, he's also going to get some of those opportunities, like I said, just because at that portion of the season, the more bodies you play, the better. And we won't be the only ones doing that. That's a league-wide thing, man. It's what you do. Because otherwise, those big body dudes, man, that engine gets to running too hot. They start pulling stuff, soft tissue injuries, or you find them and they can't, slow the heart rate down. Now they're looking like they're tired or looking like they don't want to play. And it's hard to tell the difference between a guy that's tired and a guy that doesn't know what they're doing because they don't move. They just like, oh, I can't breathe. I'm laboring. All right. So those are some of the things that, like I said, will be a little bit of a byproduct of the Derek Harmon situation, but I don't anticipate it being something that's overly, impactful in a negative way for us in terms of the rotation, because that's what we were going to be anticipating doing anyways. All right. So, like I said, man, that's kind of the mindset with the injury report. But as a whole, I like it. We'll obviously see, like said later tonight when the Jets put their official Thursday report out, man, and see who was available. And then obviously we will know a lot more tomorrow. But it is good, though, in terms of the snapshot early on, knowing, all right, who is available to us, who is not. Nick Herbig is the one that I'm still trying to see what his availability is going to be. He did the hamstring, right? We talked about the hamstring injury, and then obviously, forced him to miss some time. And it's like, how quickly is he coming back? Because we're right in that like 3 week-ish range. And those are, I think, some of the questions of, okay, do you play him now where he might potentially re-aggravate it and now you run the risk of him missing more time? Or is it a scenario where, all right, we feel like, just let him sit this week, man, give him just that one extra week. And now we feel extremely confident in his ability to go out there without re-injuring himself. Those are some of the things that I'm sure internally they're still debating and trying to figure out what the best thing is. And I think Coach Thomas specifically talked about, allowing Herbig's availability through practice, how he works and what that looks like to ultimately determine if he's going to make it on Sunday or not. So, like I said, man, we will see with that, man. We'll keep a close eye on the young Herbig, man. But here we go, baby. Here we go.